no matter who tries to come in place, who tries to gain rule, who tries to upset God's plan, there's one thing that I know for sure, that you will never stop the promises of God. If God said it and He made a covenant with you about it, you can rest assured that it will stand and it will follow through, just like His Word says. When God said He's going to do it and that's the way that it's going to be, then that's the way that it's going to be. But you got to take into account there's things that's going to come in effect in the process of that. Counterfeits, rulers trying to rule, authority trying to overtake God's authority. All this stuff comes into play to try to deceive you, to try to get you to follow after that and not hold on to God's promise. God's promise is in His Word. Prime example. After Solomon was king and he did what he did, after that everything went to hell. When Solomon did what he did, everything went to hell. There was king after king after king after king after king, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And then it come to a point to where there was a woman that took the throne for 6 years. And she usurped authority over man. It just kept getting worse and worse. But God kept His promise. This is what I want you to note in this. God kept His promise with David. There was a man that, after Ahab and Jezebel was killed, there was a man, Jehu, that had set out to kill every seed of Ahab and Jezebel. Well, he done it. And the mother of the son that Jehu had killed, when she found out about it, she took the throne. Well, when she took the throne, she went on a killing spree to try to kill, to destroy all the seed of David. But there was a woman that took and hid one boy. And I think his name was Joash. And he was anointed king. When this lady heard that, the one that went on the killing spree, she raged. She hollered, "Treason, treason." Does it sound familiar? Well, that didn't last long. She took that throne for 6 years, but there was a very orchestrated assembly together to get her out of the way. Hear me what I'm saying. There was something that was very orchestrated to get her out of the way. And they did. They ended up killing her. But it was orchestrated to do so. But the main thing is in all that chaos and in all that stuff that was going on, God allowed them things to happen to follow through with His promise, to expose things, to get people to open their eyes to things. Because notice what I said before, after Solomon turned his back on God and started worshiping idols and other gods, from that point on, everything went to hell. And it got worse and worse and worse. So the key to this message is a nation that turns its back on God and turns against God and looks to man for things, or idols, or anything that's trying to exalt itself above God. God will allow devastation to come in to that land and completely destroy it. And then we wonder why God allows these things to happen. First off, God is a jealous God. He's not going to take second place. When are you people, us people, going to get that through our thick skull? That God does not take second place. He is first, He is the center, or He ain't going to be nothing at all. He created it all. He can destroy it all, along with your life with it. So those of you that think God is a bad God and He does this and He does that, and why does He do this, and you question Him all the time, why don't you go look in the mirror and check yourself? God give us prime rules, strict rules to obey. And if we don't obey them rules, look what happened to Solomon. Look what happened on after him. Just because a man is anointed king does not mean that stuff can get in there and turn him from God. Done it all through the Bible. It's the focus of your eyes, your heart, your ears to stay on path. The key to it is keeping your focus on God individually. And if God anoints you to do something, don't get above your raising and thinking that you something when you still nothing. You only under the authority of God, and He can crush you just as well as He anointed you. Never try to exalt yourself above anybody, anything, because God will humble you quickly. Anything or anybody that tries to exalt themselves above God is walking on very, very dangerous ground. You'll never be that authoritated, that much authority above God. God will show you real quick. The example in this message is to know that God keeps His promise, but you got to keep yours with Him. If He trusts you with something, then honor it and be humble in honoring it and walk it according to His will, or destruction lies in front of us, down the road or right around the corner. It never fails. It always happened in the Bible. So what makes you think that we're any different? Amen anyhow.